This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, Reds fans. How we doing? Welcome to another installment of the POSTCAST, brought to you by the wonderful people at the Locked On Podcast and the Locked On Reds Podcast Network. My name is Tim Daniel. I have been covering the Reds in podcast form for over 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and The Riverfront. And today we get to talk about the fact that the Cincinnati Reds got a, I don't know, is it too early to call it much needed win? Because I really feel like that's one that I feel like they couldn't leave with a sweep in Miami today. I really feel like they needed that one. So fantastic day for the Cincinnati Reds to get a nice 5-2 victory. On today's show, we're going to be talking about Austin Wynns again, going 3 for 4 today with a homer and another RBI double late in the game. We're going to talk about Brady Singer having a nice bounce back game that he needed as well. And we're going to talk about Spencer Steer having a solid day at the plate. So I cannot wait to talk about this one with you guys. It's a lot of fun when they talk about a win, obviously, and it's going to be a joyous 15 to 20 minutes as we did not get swept by the Miami Marlins. So I do have to give the Miami Marlins some credit. I know that these guys will all probably not be on the team the next 2 to 3 years. That's what history tells us. But they have played good baseball so far. They were on a big win streak going into today, and the Cincinnati Reds found a way to take care of business. So here, of course, guys, we'll get started. Here is what we're talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Did we think we'd be doing multiple conversations about Austin Wynns being Dimitri Young 20 years later? I didn't think so. Now on my bingo card for 2025, but he has made himself, as the wrestling nerds know, for me to say, undeniable. 3 for 4, a home run early in the game, and then that RBI double basically puts the game away as the Reds are kind of wrapping things up. So Wynns hits that home in the top of the third, makes it 2-2, which the Reds really needed as well. And then when after the big play for Elly at the plate, which we're going to get to here during this game as well, has the RBI double to Ronnie Simon that brings in Steer and it makes it 5-2, which ends up being our final. So the Reds, simply put, with having Tyler Stevenson gone for as much time as they have, and not knowing really how long they were going to be without him because of the oblique injury, they could not have asked for any more from what they're getting from their catchers right now. You look at what Austin Wynns is doing this week and for the season in general. So if I pull up the box score real quick, just so I can get his quick peek at his stat line, hitting 500 with a 1.421 OPS. Now, totally hitting over his head, but doesn't mean we can't enjoy this. Doesn't mean we can't have a great time with it. And then, of course, Jose Trevino, who's also been excellent. So this was a conversation that came up quite a bit after last night's game here in the chat about, well, what do you do? My answer to that is going to be, I don't really care. As many good hitters as possible is what I care about. And instead of freaking out about what the next move is, I think us as Reds fans need to at some point just kind of enjoy the moment. And I think that this is a day where you enjoy the moment. You enjoy Austin Wynns following up on his unbelievable game in Baltimore. No one can say today he didn't do it against Major League pitching, because he certainly did. So there's no, well, he did it against outfielders. Not a thing this time around, guys. He simply put was the man today. And what an unbelievable day for him. So really great to see. I don't know what the future holds for him. We have Where's traveling to. Right here he says, Austin Wynns cannot be sent down when Stevenson comes back. He's too hot. He has 13 hits with only 26 at-bats versus Candelario, who has 9 hits with 76 at-bats. Is a waste. Yeah, there's constant complaints about Candelario, and deservedly so. But so I'm with you. I think you have to keep Austin Wynns on the roster, but I don't know how you do the gymnastics. Thankfully, that is not our problem to have. That is a Nick Kroll and staff problem issue there as well, and not us here on the Locked On Reds postcasts. But I will say that I think it's a problem you'd rather have than in years past, right? You know, like, oh no, Tyler's down. Let's go to Kirk Casale and Luke Maile and see what happens there. Don't have to worry about that anymore. Or is Tucker Barnhart the real deal as our catcher? Defensively, sure, but, you know, how things turned out there for a bit now. So, yeah, I mean, really, for a day that the Reds offense was, I mean, they got a lot of hits. They scored a lot of runs. They weren't great in runners in scoring position today by any stretch of the matter. 2 for 16 with runners in scoring position, left 8 on base. Getting that much needed hit there at the end of the day really kind of put this thing together. So kudos to him on an awesome performance and keeping this thing going and just taking advantage of his opportunity, I think is the biggest thing that he is doing. And we just need to give him his credit and enjoy that. One thing for today I really want to talk about that I was excited to see, and I think we're starting to see this as a theme a little more. The conversation coming out of the 2 Giants series is, why didn't they run? Why didn't they steal? And the answer was probably that it was Patrick Bailey behind the mound. Behind the plate. They ran today. They ran a lot. Fraley had a steal. Friedel had a steal. Spencer Steer had a steal. Elly had a steal. Elly had 2 steals, I think. Yeah. No, he only had 1. Sorry. But the fact that they were just like going at it, they were running again. They were like the Reds things that were good last year, and the very few things that were. To see them kind of take advantage. Now I understand that's who you have behind the plate. So spoiler alert, when they play Colorado this week coming up, same conversation we're going to be having. I have a feeling they're going to be running a lot in Colorado against the Rockies when they're throwing out guys like, let me pull the Rockies lineup real quick, like Hunter Goodman. So we'll see how that goes. But awesome day for the Reds. I'm so happy to see them running again and kind of taking advantage of that. And also Austin Wynns taking full advantage of his opportunities to help this team win ball games and get his name out there. Because if it's not, hopefully it's here. But now, maybe make some interesting conversation for if he has a spot elsewhere in the big leagues that maybe the Reds can get something going. So we'll talk about that here in a second. But also today, in a day that the Reds really needed a win, again, I'm not trying to say must have win, but just kind of takes a little pressure off the shoulders, right? Kind of makes you feel a little better. Brady Singer showed up today for his 4th win. And let's get to that after we get some couple of ads in here, and we'll be right back. Get the suppliers you need from the site made for skilled trades, Supply House. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 top brands, you'll find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for trade pros looking for an extra edge, their free Trade Master program offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. Join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That is supplyhouse.com. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no-shelf variety. It's the perfect grab-and-go snack for busy days. Whether I'm stacking at my desk, on a road trip, on my way to the gym, and just need a quick boost, they're always my go-to. And if you love cracking open every shell for that satisfying crunch, the in-shell options are a classic favorite. Get snacking and get cracking with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com. Thank you all so much for hanging on with me today on a beautiful afternoon as the Cincinnati Reds are victorious in Miami over the Marlins 5-2 today. I want to catch up on the chat real quick before we get to Brady Singer's big day. Roland Tumblin says, this catching tandem has been sensational. Would hate to dump wins when Stevenson returns. I hear you. But like I said, to start the show, guys, let's enjoy the moment. Let's Let's have fun with what we have, and we'll figure out the rest later. I think that's a good thing to do because as Reds fans, let's be honest, we don't do it enough. Logan Hoskins asks, any thoughts on why Candy was DH instead of Hayes? At this point, I don't know why Candy's getting at-bats over Chris Heisey. I don't know why he's getting at-bats over Reggie Sanders of, current day. I don't know why he's getting at-bats over Joe Oliver, current day. I don't have anything. I don't have an answer for you. But Jeff points out quite a bit over on the Locked On Reds that come May is when he gets going. He better get going fast in May, because this team, if he's going to be getting at bats, this team is going to need it. And right now, number 16 is playing pretty good baseball over at third base and really giving him a spot to not really be around. So we shall see how that all plays out. Hey guys, this was a really fun one today, a really good game, but here's where this game was won or lost.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Turning point today for me is, simply put, Elly De La Cruz play at the plate. Jeimer Candelario hits the ball straight to third base, and Elly gets a really nice run and gets a really great slide. That was really impressive. And for that, I think that kind of having that aggression come back is what this team really needed. They have to have that moment. So I know Tito's talked a lot about if they run, he wants them to run smart. And that was a scary moment. They did go into that, go on into the situation where Miami challenges it. Sorry, I had to bring my notes up there real quick, so I just stalled for a second. But without that play, I mean, it could have been a different ball game. Obviously, Miami doesn't go on to score from there, but I feel like that kind of flipped the page. Just seeing Elly excited after that, had a really good at bat, gets a steal, moves on over to third, and then scores on a not great piece of contact from Candelario. This is what we're going to be excited about. So I will call that our turning point of the day. Hey guys, let's talk about Brady Singer here. I am pretty excited about the season we've had from him so far. And my pal Joey Gaditza is in a Slack chat with me at my former regime at the Riverfront. And he talked about today. He said, at this point, is there any chance that anyone really would rather have Jonathan India at this point? And simply put, the only time I ever think about Jonathan India anymore is when someone asks me about Jonathan India. And I know that's not fair to him. I hope the best for him in Kansas City. But I just don't feel a need for him. And I just never think about it anymore. And I know that sounds mean, but that's not my intent. I just feel like the Reds got into a better situation. And Brady Singer has been awesome. That's been really good. So I'm not a big pitcher wins guy. But there's something to say about a guy in April's 4 now, right? I mean, I think that's justifiable to have a conversation about. Just kind of shows how good he's really been. Today, goes 6, gives up 2 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, no walks, does give up a homer, but it was a solo shot. Was it a solo shot? I think it was. No, it was not. It was Matt Mervis hitting a 2-run bomb. And, of course, when that 2-run bomb happens, with the way things have been going, we go, our shoulders drop a little bit, right? We're like, oh, man, here we go. But Singer locked in right after that and was really good, just really good. So as we look at this team, we know that the strength of this team, we've talked about it forever, is going to strictly be starting pitching. And to have him in there with what they're getting from Green. I know Green just had a bad game. I know Green's pitching in Colorado, and someone's going to tell me the fair warning there. With what they're getting from Andrew Abbott. While Nick Lodolo hasn't been dominant, I wouldn't say he's been bad. There are some things that are concerning for sure when you pull up his Savant page. But what you're getting from those 4 guys, and then if you get another outing like you did last night from Nick Martinez, you feel pretty good until you get your other guys back. Wade Miley just pitched in Dayton. And then, of course, Rhett Lauder as well. So before we get to the rest of the show, I got a lot of really good comments here. I want to make sure I read. And a couple of them, particularly Logan and Carrie, both bring this up. Marte should have never gotten caught at third. And Logan talked about the same thing. I was living with Marte in that blender at third. Why in the world did he start running after watching what was almost a double play? I don't know by any means. I think he just had a young guy making a mistake moment. I've really liked everything he's done, really, since he got called back up. And I think he's earned the right to be considered the everyday third baseman, whether he's playing against position players or not. Joey, I know you meant no harm. I know you weren't trying to say you missed Jonathan India by any means. Not by any stretch of the matter. But it was a fun conversation to have. And I thought it was a great thing to talk about. Pierre talks about Brady Singer. Brady Singer has been everything we asked for and then some. It reminds me of Kurt Stillwell at Casey for Danny Jackson when the Reds kept Barry Larkin and they kept Matt McClain this time. Bingo. That's nail on the head right there, my friend. That's really, it's a really good point. Joey has a Joe Oliver reference. He was my guy as a kid. Yeah, mine too. I actually met him he came and went to a 3-ball game. Oh, Carrie, this is a great point before we get move on. Blake Dunn last 3 outs could have been a disaster. That was really nice. I mean, 2 really, really big catches there at the end of the game to keep the Reds in front and keep possibly the Marlins rallying away, especially in that big of a field, that big of an outfield to make those plays. That was awesome. Pierre says, "Sir, yes, sir." Are you like the little soldiers in Toy Story? Because that's a conversation you can DM me about because I'm a Toy Story fanatic. But I don't want to bore you guys with that like I did my wrestling conversations last week. Hey, while we're here, we've already talked about it, but let's get to our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It's Austin Wynns, guys. Another terrific day for him as he keeps this Dimitri Young-esque stretch going that Jonathan Sadak talked about today. I said Jonathan Sadak. You guys had me talk about India earlier. John Sadak talked about earlier today about just this run he's had, but really excited about the week he's had, and kudos to him. Hey, guys, let's talk about Spencer Steer because today he had a really nice day. And I don't know where you guys feel on him. And I know it's been really bad with trying to come back and the shoulder injury, having short time in a minor spring training ball, just now getting back to the field and playing in the field consistently. But I still really believe Spencer Steer is a good hitter and someone who can really help the Reds win games. And today he was really good. He got on base 3 times, had 2 hits, had an RBI, had a double, scored a run, drew a walk. I thought he was terrific today and played a good first base. I wouldn't say it was jaw-dropping, but we aren't talking about him for the wrong reasons today by any means. So we wanted to make sure we got a chance to talk about that because if he can keep going at this kind of pace, he's not going to go 2 for 3 with a walk every day. I understand that. But if he can see how, he can help this team out, he can get big at-bats, he can work counts, he can get pitchers to get their counts up, and occasionally he can come through and give them a really nice power swing. That helps this team so much. I mean, especially if you look at like days like today, like I know that there's the Stern's been coming up, but I'm not worried about Matt McClain. I think he's going to bounce back pretty soon. Elly today, 2 walks. Is Spencer Steers adding to what you're getting from everybody? Austin Hayes, I know only got an at bat today, and boy, that was a scary moment with him and Friedel in the outfield. That conversation's got to get up there a little bit. We're going to contact Tevin Campbell to ask him if they can just talk, see how that goes on that for sure. But yeah, this conversation now, Spencer Steer, first baseman. What does things look like when CES comes back? What do things look like when Stevenson comes back? I don't know if I'm a believer that CES has earned the right to really consistently play at this point. I don't have an argument for him, really. I don't. And then, while Candelario's there, God only knows what's happening with him. I don't know if Tito even likes playing him, really. I don't know if Tito just really feels like he has a choice or not. But, yeah, I was with you, Logan. Much rather Spence than Candy any day. But, hey, with that being said, we have a really fun day tomorrow because we're off. I can get a breather. I don't have to do a Cavs game only tonight. They're off tomorrow, too. I can spend time with the family after work tomorrow. I can't wait. But I can't wait to be back with you guys on Friday as well. So the Cincinnati Reds today are victorious, leaving Miami 5-2. The Reds 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Miami Marlins 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Your winning pitcher is Brady Singer, now sitting at 4-0 with a 3.62 ERA. Your losing pitcher is Sandy Alcantara. I pronounced his name wrong last night, so I apologize, Sandy. 2-2 with a 6.56 ERA. And your closer getting the save today for the Cincinnati Reds, Emilio Pagan, his 5th of the year, bringing his ERA down to 2.58. The Red Legs are off tomorrow, and then we head to Coors Field to face the, at the moment, 4-18 Colorado Rockies at beautiful Coors Field. Andrew Abbott takes the hill on Friday for the Reds. He's 2-0 with a 164. And the Rockies are yet to announce their rotation, so feels promising. I looked at the Rockies a little bit today and realized that their best hitter right now is the farm dog, Kyle Farmer. So cannot wait to be back. It's a late game. It's 8:40 Eastern time. I'll probably be on about 11:30 on Friday. So cannot wait. Hopefully we're talking about a huge win for the Red Legs. I'm Tim Daniel. Thank you all so much for spending this late afternoon with me. Go Red Legs. Be sure to check out Jeff and Steve on Locked on Reds this week as well. Jeff has a really fun show coming up with one of my favorite guests in the world. You will not want to miss. Take it easy, everybody.